Hello, my name is Sean Turner. I live at 3080 South Richmond Street in Salt Lake City, Utah. It's right on the border with Mill Creek Township. Uh, I live in apartment 218. Uh, I, I lived a long life. I'm 59. I had trouble in many spots in my life. Uh, I spent my first 18 years growing up in Cincinnati, Ohio. Uh, I graduated from Little High School. It's a Cincinnati public school. I went to University of Cincinnati and dropped out after 3 weeks. Shortly afterwards, I, I joined the Army. I, I waited about 2.5 months before I started training in January of '84. I lasted 10 months in the Army. On August 1st, 1984, I was outside the base in El Paso, and I got raped and robbed walking back to the base in the alleyway. I just left a bar that had Korean women that let you feel them up and stuff like that. Well, anyway, shortly afterwards, I was discharged. When I went to the federal building in Cincinnati, my hometown, they said I had to be in 2 years to get benefits. I didn't know anything about a service connection back then, so I thought I was out of luck. I was angry and bitter about not being allowed to finish my 6 years. Well, anyway, I lived with my mom for a year. Then I moved down to Florida in 1985 at age 20. I lived in Florida 6 years. I worked most of the time I was there, but I was mentally sick. I needed professional help. I got in trouble. I tried to burn down Carmichael's restaurant in Sarasota. It burned the curtains and scorched the walls. About $5,000 in damage. They put it out pretty quickly. I served 5 months in county jail. I got a deal. I served 5 months. I was supposed to serve 15 months house arrest, but I went to the state hospital. After about 4 or 5 months in the state hospital, the courts took me off of house arrest. I was free to escape that state hospital then, but 3 meals and a bed kept me there either. I got out of the state hospital and went to a group home in Bradenton, Florida, where I got on exercise and went to groups every day. I got an apartment for a while. Then I went to live with my brother in Tampa. I ended up in St. Petersburg after that. And in 91, I left Florida for good. I spent some months back home in Cincinnati. Then I went out to Los Angeles for the first time in January of 92. I was 26 when I got there. I lived there for 24 years. Every now and then I'd take off for a few weeks or a few months, but I always come back. I lived in LA 24 years. I lived in Las Cruces, New Mexico, a bunch of times. And when I left LA in 2016, after 24 years, I spent some time in Las Cruces renting a house. I went back and forth between Las Cruces and El Paso for like 3 years. Ended up in a group home in El Paso. I spent time in jail there too, only for a few days. Well, the family that owned the group home brought me out to Salt Lake City in August of 2019, and I've been here ever since. So I got in trouble before, and I still take meds. You gotta understand, I have PTSD and other mental illness, but I got a home. I have good income. I don't deal with too many bad things anymore. And I gotta find a little bit more things to do with my time. Well, that's not all the details. There's many more details. But I can't put a 2-hour video on YouTube.